Hi, everybody. I am Dave Klein. I'm the founder CTO of Missive.com, an email service provider, or for short, ESP. So today I want to talk a little bit about one of the advantages of Missive over other ESPs, specifically product pricing integrity, what it is, why we've got it, and why most other people don't. So what do I even mean by product pricing integrity? I'll probably just call it integrity from now on because that's a mouthful. Basically, if a pricing model or a company is a high integrity company, what is going to happen when you go give them your money with the intent to get a thing back is you're going to get the thing back. So this seems very obvious. If I were to go to a store, let's say I need to fill up my car with gas, I go to a gas station, I pay per gallon for gas, I fill up my tank. All of that is very intuitive. It's very easy. It's simple. Everybody knows how that works. We're going to call that a high integrity situation. There are no unexpected loopy-loops of pricing snuck into the pricing model, right? Another good example is an email service provider like Missive that charges to send emails. What you're mostly trying to do when you're doing email marketing is you're trying to communicate via email, right? So that's why our pricing model revolves around sending emails. We just charge you for emails. Certainly a high integrity model might also have other features like Missive has drip campaigns, we have advanced segmentation, A/B testing, we have automated email cleaning, all sorts of scheduling options. I'm not going to name everything. There are dozens of them. It is not super important that there are other features for integrity reasons. What's important is that the primary thing that you're getting is the primary thing you're paying for. And let me give actually a third example, which is foreshadowing of like kind of what I'm sort of getting at, even though this is obviously like you right now you're like, okay, this is obvious. But okay, so a third thing quickly is if I had an online Rolodex service, primarily what a Rolodex does is stores contact information, maybe addresses, maybe I can do some cool stuff like map out where all my friends live, whatever. So what I would expect customers to pay for in order to get the ability to store contacts like this, I would expect them to be paying to store contacts, right? Very obvious, right? Very obvious. We'll get into why a lot of ESPs don't actually work this way in a second, though. So why is it important to have product pricing integrity like this? Like obviously the examples I gave seem very intuitive. So the things that are important, though, you need the pricing model to be simple. And the reason is nobody likes math. I mean, that's the obvious reason. And then the second reason is it's easy to do the math that you do have to do. You don't want there to be a ton of variables. You don't want to do differential equations. Nobody wants to do math. Okay. Second, the charges should be intuitive. What you are paying for and what you get should be very simply aligned. No loop-de-loops, no mazes, no confusing stuff, just like showing up out of nowhere. That actually kind of goes into the third point, which is you want things to be predictable. So if I'm leading a marketing team and I want to know how much money am I going to spend on this campaign, right? I want to be able to do that calculation ahead of time. I'm going to send out 10 million emails next month. It's going to be a 3 email drip. I want to be able to do that calculation now so that I know, do I have money for this other marketing thing I want to do, or do I need to wait, or like how do I schedule all my business plans, right? You can't do that if you can't predict how much money is going to be going out of your team. So you want high product pricing integrity because it lets you predict things like how much money will I have at the time that I need it, right? So Missive prides itself on being very simple and transparent. You send X number of emails, we charge you based on the number of emails you send. It's like a rate per email. That's it. That's all we're doing. Other ESPs, they're primarily going to charge you for is storing contacts, which if you remember the previous examples, a Rolodex service with high product pricing integrity would be storing contacts and would be charging people to store contacts. So it's odd that the primary thing that you're paying for in an email service provider, which is intended to help you communicate via emails, is contacts. That should be like a Rolodex pricing model, not an ESP pricing model, okay? And then further, what they do is they add in all these other variables, and it's really hard to be predictable with that pricing. You can pay this amount to get feature 1 up to this limit. If you go above that limit, you now have to pay more for feature 1, right? So try to do that math times like 12 features, and then also be paying for contacts, which is not even necessarily someone that you're still communicating with. And it's a huge jumble. It's so confusing. How are you going to predict what you're going to be paying with a pricing model like that? If you're trying to be a dynamic team doing a bunch of cool marketing stuff, you don't want to spend all day figuring out what your fees are going to be. So with Missive, that's why we pride ourselves on having high product pricing integrity, because you can do those calculations ahead of time. You can figure out exactly what you're going to pay. You are paying for the things you would expect to be paying for. In fact, you're probably paying even less because we give you so much stuff for free just to keep it simple so it's easier for you and intuitive. And we think that's going to help you a lot. So that's, I think, a major advantage of us. Again, I am Dave Klein, the founder CTO, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.